hello there, and welcome back. This is part 2 of your solving one-step equations notes. Hopefully you did pretty good on the other one. So again, we're going to be solving for these variables, and I know you can do them in your head, but I want to teach you the steps, so make sure you write these down. The inverse of subtraction is going to be addition this time. So now we're doing the inverse of what we did last time. Okay, we're going to do the same thing each time. So we're going to locate our variable. Now, this -5, even though you're accustomed to knowing that that's an a minus 5, this sign right here is going to be attached to this value, this 5. Okay, so when you locate your variable and you leave it alone, this is really, even though it's a subtraction and it's -5, it's really -5. Okay, so I'm going to do the inverse. So wherever I see the negative, I'm going to add. Okay, so this tells me what side of the equation to start on. Then I add 5 to both sides. Okay, so now this -5 plus 5 cancels out, and I'm left with a equals 13. Now, just like in our notes before, you can do the check. I'm going to do the first one, but I want you to do each one after that. Okay, so this a, if I were to plug it in, this is my equation. And again, just as a refresher, wherever you see that a, you're going to plug in your value. And I usually put parentheses around it, so don't let that confuse you. So 13 minus 5, does that equal 8? Yes. Oops. Okay. So I'm not going to do that over here, but I definitely want you to put that in there. And you can do that at the end because we're just going to zip through these problems. Okay, so here's my variable. What is left over here, I'm going to do the opposite of it. So I'm going to add 9 to both sides. And I'm going to be left with x equals 14. Okay, coming down here, I've got a w. This is a -8, so I'm going to add 8 to both sides. And again, I know you can do this in your head, but be writing these steps down. Make sure you know how to do these steps. When we get into two-step equations, there's going to be about, well, there's obviously going to be 2 steps, but when we get into multi-steps, there could be as many as 4 and more. Okay, so here we go. This x, this is what we're looking at right there. So we're starting on this side of the equation, add 6. And then we're done. Here's my variable. I'm going to add this number here. And when I do that, make sure you line up your decimals. If I were to put this over here, I would probably put the 3-digit number first, and then just write down my 35 underneath of it with my decimal. And you can add a 0 if you want to. Okay, but don't forget to line up those decimals. So this is 5 because I'm adding. This is going to be 10. Bring down your decimal, carry your 1, and then this is 50. So when I add this together, this is going to be 50.5 over here equals, and then this canceled, remember, leaving me with just c. Okay, so just because the variable is on this side of the equation, it doesn't matter. It's kind of like this one over here. Okay, and then the last one, that right there is what we're looking at because here's my variable. So this has a plus, we're going to minus it. Okay, so y equals, and then this one is going to be, I have to borrow. So this is 14 because I'm going to take 1 from over here. So this is 14. 14 minus 6 is 8. 8 minus 5 is 3. And I'm going to bring down my 1. Okay, so y equals 13.8. Alrighty, so you are free to do your checks. When you get done with that, let me see your checks, and then I will give you a worksheet. Adios.